President Trump announced all U.S. imports will have a minimum 10% tariff. There's a lot of talk about how that's going to impact the economy, and Republicans here on Capitol Hill admit they don't know.
Everybody's a little concerned. We all are.
We're in uncharted waters, and no one has any idea what the impact's going to be.
Economists and politicians alike are talking about the best and worst case scenarios. Republicans hope this will lead countries to reduce their tariffs on American products and increase domestic manufacturing.
I think ultimately what happens is you get back down to a free trade agreement, that these countries that have engaged in this disparity, this raw deal for Americans for so long, it'll get their attention and they'll, I think, reduce their tariffs on us. If somebody has 100+ percent tariff on imports of U.S. goods, and we have virtually nothing, why don't we settle that balance?
We've got to get manufacturing back to the country, people back to work. Better way to do that is tariffs. So let's give it a shot and see what happens.
The worst case scenario is supply chains don't really change, and therefore Americans are paying higher prices for those imported products.
So far in his time as president, costs have gone up, and tariffs will simply raise them further.
The Senate is expected to vote on a resolution that would end the national emergency President Trump is using to impose tariffs on Canada. Senator Tim Kaine introduced the measure, and 4 Republicans are expected to vote in favor, which would be enough for it to pass. Even Republicans who aren't voting for the measure say they want tariffs between the two nations to be reduced.
So both sides disarm, go to zero tariffs. Let Canadian businesses and American businesses compete. Competition makes us all better. May the best product at the best price win. No interference by government through tariffs.
But to think that Canada is now one of our targets is almost laughable in most parts of the United States. And deal with trade issues as they rise. Don't try to establish a standard of tariffs against all countries in the world. It can backfire.
The tariffs have already had a big impact on the economy. Since February, when President Trump started previewing his tariff plans, U.S. stocks have lost $5 trillion in value. I'm Ray Bogan for Straight Arrow News. For more reporting, download the SAN app.